everyone. Can you hear me properly? Am I audible to you? So, yes, Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. So, today we are going to study about, read the chapter number 13, that is of the universe. So, the thing that I am missing is screen. What is that called? S- Um, that is called screen. Screen marker, I guess so. That's free and best good app. So let us read the vital force of the universe. Janma karma cha janma karma cha vishvatamanna ajasya karturatmannaha tiryan rishishu yathasu tad antata vidambanam. Of course, it is bewildering. Oh, the soul of the universe, that you work. Though you are inactive and you take birth, though you are vital force of the and the unborn, you yourself descend among the animal, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. Yes, it is actually bewildering that how can he can be unborn and vital force can take birth and descend among the animal, men, and sages and aquatics. So verily, this is very very bewildering. Transcendental pastimes of the Lord are not only bewildering but also apparently contradictory. In other words, they are all inconceivable to the limited thinking power of the human being. The Lord is all pervading supersoul of all existence. Okay, so the normal human cannot understand because they are bewildering and also they are contradictory. Suppose one who is unborn but he also takes birth, and a limited human being cannot understand these things. The Lord is all pervading super soul of all existence, and yet he appears in form of a boar among the animals, in form of human being as Rama, Krishna, and in form of Rishi like Narayan, and in form of aquatics like a fish. Yet he said that he is unborn and he has nothing to do. In the Shruti mantra, it is said that the Supreme Brahma has nothing to do. No one is equal or greater than him. He has manifold energy, and everything that is performed by him perfectly by automatic knowledge, strength, and activity. All these statements prove without any question that the Lord's activities, form, and all deeds are all inconceivable to our limited thinking power. And because he is inconceivably powerful, everything is possible in him. Therefore, no one can calculate him exactly. Every action of the Lord is bewildering to the common man. He cannot be understood by the Vedic knowledge, but he can easily be understood by pure devotees because they are intimately related with him. The devotees therefore know that although he appears among the animal, he is not an animal or a man or rishi or a fish. He is eternally the Supreme Lord in all circumstances. Kunti addresses Krishna as Vishvatman, Vishvatman, the vital force of the universe. Vishva Atman, that is the vital force of the universe. In everybody, there is a vital force. The vital force is Atma, the living being, the living entity, the soul. It is because of the presence of that vital force, the soul, that the whole body works. Similarly, there is a supreme vital force. That supreme vital force is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, where is the question of taking his birth in Bhagavad Gita? Lord says, Janma karma chay me divyam evam yo vedi tatvatah tvakya tvaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam iti so arjunaha. So, it is because the presence of that vital force, the soul, that the whole body works. Similarly, there is supreme vital force. The supreme vital force is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, where is the question of taking birth in Bhagavad Gita? One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, takes his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. Yes, along with Lord here, devotees also are inconceivable to us. We cannot understand. They also take many different forms according to Lord's desire. Hmm. In this verse, the word Divyam especially indicates that the Lord appearance and activities are spiritual, they are not material. And elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Ajo api snan avyaya atma. The word Aja means unborn, and Abhyatma means not subject to destruction. This is the nature of Krishna, whose transcendental nature is further described by Kunti Devi in her prayer to the Lord. In the beginning of her prayer, Kunti Devi said to the Lord, "You are within and you are without, but you are still invisible." Krishna is within everyone's heart. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriday Arjuna tishtati sarvasya chaham hridhi sannavishta. Bhagavad Gita chapter number 15. Purushottam Yog, Purushottam Mas ki joy. Indeed, he is within everything, even within the atom. Andantara sthita parmanu chayantara sthitam. Krishna is within and he is also without. Thus, Krishna showed Arjun his external feature as the Vishwarup, the gigantic cosmic manifestation. The external body of Krishna is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are hills and mountains are described as the bones of the Lord. Similarly, the great oceans have been described as different holes in the Lord's universal body, and the planet known as Brahmalok has been described as upper portion of his skull. Those who cannot see God thus have been advised to see him in many ways in terms of material cosmic manifestation. According to the instruction given in the Vedic literature, there are those who can simply think of God as being great but do not know how great he is. When they think of greatness, they think of very high mountains, the sky, and planets. Therefore, the Lord has been described in terms of such material manifestations, so that while thinking of these different manifestations, one can think of the Lord. That is also Krishna consciousness. If one thinks the mountain is born of Krishna, or this vast Pacific Ocean as Krishna's navel, one is in Krishna consciousness. Similarly, one may think of the trees and plants as the hairs on Krishna's body. One may think of Brahmaloka as the top of Krishna's skull. One may think of Patal Lok as the soles of Krishna's feet. Thus, one may think Krishna is greater than he is the greatest. Mahato Mahiyan. Similarly, one may think of Krishna as smaller than the smallest. Yes, I do remember an example of Peter, that is the smallest. Yes, Krishna is also the smallest. smaller than the smallest. That is also a kind of greatness. Krishna can manufacture this gigantic cosmic manifestation, and he can also manufacture a small insect. In a book, one may sometimes find a small running insect smaller than a period. Yes, this is Krishna's craftsmanship. Annor Aniyan Mahato Mayan Katha Upanishad 1.2.20. He can create something greater than the greatest and smaller than the smallest. Now, human beings have manufactured the 747 airplane, which, according to their conception, is very big. But can they produce an airplane as small as flying insect? That is not possible. Actual greatness, however, is not one-sided. One who is actually great can become greater and the greatest and the smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest and smaller than the smallest. But even the great things man can manufacture in modern age are still not the greatest thing man has created. Hmm. We have information from the Srimad Bhagavatam that Kardama Muni, the father of the great sage of Kapildeva, manufactured a huge plane that resembled a great city. It included lakes, gardens, streets, and houses, and the whole city was able to fly all over the universe. In that plane, Kardama Muni traveled with his wife and showed her all the planets. He was a great yogi, and his wife, Dehuti, was the daughter of Swayambha Manu, a great king. Kardama Muni had desired to marry and as desired to marry, and Devahuti told her father, "My dear father, I want to marry that sage." Thus Swayambhu Manu brought his daughter to Kardamba Muni and said, "Sir, here is my daughter, please accept her as your wife." She was a king's daughter and was very opulent, but when she joined her austere husband, she had to serve us so much that she became lean and thin. In fact, with insufficient food, she was only working day and night. Thus, Kardan Muni became compassionate. This woman who has come to me is a king's daughter. He thought, by but under my protection she is not receiving any comfort. So I shall give her some comfort. Thus she asked his wife, "What will make you comfortable?" A woman nature, of course, uh, is that she wants a good house, good food, fine garments, good children, and a good husband. Those are woman's ambition. Thus, Kardama Muni proved to her that she received the best husband. By yogic powers, he created for her this great aeroplane and gave her a big house with maid servants and all opulence. Kardama Muni was merely a human being, but he could perform such wonderful things by yogic powers. Krishna, however, is Yogeshwar, the master of all yogic powers. If we get a little mystic power, we become important. But Krishna is the master of all mystic powers. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that wherever there is Yogeshwar, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all mystic power, and wherever there is Arjuna, there is all who is known as Partha Dhanutara, everything is present. Yato Yogeshwar Krishna Tato Partha Dhanutara Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir Durva Nitirmatim. We should always remember that if we can keep ourselves always in company with Krishna, we shall attain all perfection. And especially in this age, Krishna is incarnated as her holy name. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatara. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nit Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala. My dear Lord, you are so kind. You are giving me your association in the form of your holy name. And this holy name can be chanted in any situation. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. One can chant Hare Krishna anywhere. Children, for example, also chant and dance. It is not at all difficult. While walking, our students take their bead bags and chant with them. Where is the loss? But the gain is very great. For by chanting, we associate with Krishna personally. Suppose we have to associate personally with the president. How would we feel? Oh, I am with the president. So we should not feel very much proud that we were to associate with the supreme president who is able to create many millions of presidents like those of this world. This chanting is our opportunity to do so. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Etadishetav kripa bhagwan mamapi. My dear Lord, you are so kind uh, that you are always prepared to give me your association. Durdaivam idrisham iha jani nanugraha. But I am so unfortunate, I don't take advantage of this opportunity. Our Krishna conscious movement is spread simply requesting people, chant Hare Krishna. There was a cartoon in some newspaper that depicted an old lady and her husband face to face. The lady is requesting her husband, chant, 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 and the husband is answering, can't, can't, can't. So, in the same way, we are requesting everyone, please chant, 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 but they are replying, can't, can't, can't. This is their misfortune. Still, it is our duty to make all such unfortunate creatures fortunate. That is our mission. Therefore, we go into the street and chant. Although they say can't, we go on chanting. That is our duty. And if somehow or other we place some literature in someone's hand, he becomes fortunate. We would have squandered his hard earned money in so many nasty, sinful ways. But if he purchases even one book, regardless of the price, his money is properly utilized. This is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. Because he gives some of his hard earned money for Krishna consciousness movement, he gets some spiritual profit. He is not losing, rather, he is gaining some spiritual profit. Therefore, our business is somehow or other to bring everyone in this Krishna consciousness movement so that everyone may spiritually profit. When Krishna appeared on this earth, not everyone knew that he was Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although, when there was need, he proved himself the Supreme Godhead. He generally appeared to be just like an ordinary human being. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami, while describing how Krishna appeared as one of the cowherd boys, points out Krishna's identity. Who is this cowherd boy? Shukdev Goswami says, Itiham satam brahma shukhanubhutaya. Itiham satam satamam brahma shukanu bhutaya. The impersonalists meditate upon the impersonal Brahma and thus feel the some transcendental bliss. But Sukdev Goswami points out that the source of that transcendental bliss is here, Krishna. Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabha. And therefore, prabha. And therefore, the transcendental bliss that the impersonalists try to experience by meditating on the impersonal Brahma, in fact, come from Krishna. Sukdev Goswami says, here is the person who is the source of Brahma Sukta. The transcendental bliss that comes from the realization of Brahma. A devotee is always prepared to render service to the Lord. Dasyam gatanam para devantena. But those who are under all the spells of illusory energy, he is an ordinary boy. Maya shrit anitam nara darakena. Ye yatha mam prapadyate tam stathay bhajame aham. Krishna deals with different living entities according to their conceptions. For those who regard Krishna as ordinary human being,